So in my last video, I asked everybody what they wanted for the 100 subscriber special, and some people voted for a collection tour, and that seemed to be the majority, so I decided to go with that. First of all, everybody really seemed to like this, and they wanted me to do a close-up of it, so here it is. So that's that. I think I'm probably going to create a second one because, of course, the reason I didn't upload this one originally was because, as you may already know from my last video, I didn't want to exclude people, so I didn't upload it, but I might create a second car with all the new subscribers because the channel's gone up another 10 subs since the last video, so yeah, so I might create that. So, for the collection tour, it all started back in 06. Let's get this camera to focus. It all started 06. It was, I think, late fall. And my dad said, we were going over to my grandparents' house. And he said, oh, I'll show you my old model trains. So he showed me his whole collection. And he said, you can bring one home. So he let me bring this one home. So this was kind of like the first model train I ever had. And then, after seeing all that, I was like so thrilled, just so impressed by all of it. I decided to ask for my first model train. So for Christmas of 06, I got this Loco. It's by Walters. I believe it's an FB40. I got this. This was my first steam locomotive. It's a Bachman. And then, of course, I didn't have any track or anything, so I also got a starter set, and it included this one. So these were kind of like the first locos of my collection. And then we move on to 07. Now, this was another one of my dad's ones, so basically, you know, once I had a model railway up and going, I went and got another one of his. And then my birthday came up, and for my birthday of 07, I asked for the table. And then my grandparents wound up getting me this, the Go Locomotive. And then for Christmas of 07, I got this one. It's a bullet nose. And I also got the switcher from my grandparents. Now we're on to 2008. This is where things kind of started to heat up and the collection really started to take shape. This could be one of the nicest locos I own. I got this from my grandparents. It's by Stewart. It doesn't work. The motor burnt out for some reason, but hopefully I can get that one working in the future. I got this one from my grandparents as well. This one's really, really sharp. This is another one of my dad's old ones. It's a Taiko. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but in my engines lot video, I got a Taiko Santa Fe. Unfortunately, this loco didn't work, so I actually stole the parts off the Santa Fe and put it in this thing and got it working. So now this one's up and running, but now I have a Santa Fe shell, so I've got to figure out something like that. This was the year that I got the Hiawatha. After I had my model railway going, my grandmother was like, oh, I had some model trains when I was little. I have some of them. They're all broken, but you should see them. So she showed me all of them. Most of them were European, except this one, the Hiawatha, and she said that I could take it to try to fix it. I took it to countless hobby shops. I mean, I was pretty young at the time, so I really didn't know what I was doing, but, you know, as you know, it's coming along, and hopefully soon we'll have that one fully working. This one was very special because this is the first one I bought completely off my allowance. Off of, you know, doing work outside and everything, and then one day, once I reached a certain amount, my parents took me to Merrickville and I bought this one. I don't know why I picked this one, honestly. The only thing I can remember about it is I really like these headlights. Also, as you can see, it's done its fair share. It's missing a lot of parts, but it still works. This was another Christmas gift, and then this is just the dummy that trails behind it. In 2009, things slowed down a little bit. I don't know why, but I got some really nice stuff. I got this old CP. It's a Athearn. Again, it's had a lot of years of use, but it still works. This I think was the year where I started getting obsessed with bigger locomotives. And I managed to buy this one on eBay at a good price back in the day. I think this is my biggest diesel I own. It's the biggest one that exists anyway. And then I also got this one from Larkspur. 2010 was quite a big year for my model railroad because I had always wanted a VIP 42. Ever since I saw the first one, I just like, oh, the paint scheme's so cool. And my parents found one, so I believe for my 9th birthday I got this one. I can't remember though, it could have been my 11th. Then I also got this one that year. Actually, no, this one came later, but what had happened was I'd gone to a train show, found this one for $50. It broke down, and Bachman's have a lifetime warranty, so I sent it in, got this one. But I still really liked the SP4449, so I ordered another one of those. And then 2011 came along. I bought this one for $20 at a train show. This is another train show find. That Christmas I was at a rental house, so I asked for a starter set so I'd have a loop of easy track, and I got this cool new locomotive. And then that same Christmas, Athearn was having a limited run, or I think it was Athearn, it might have been Atlas, was having a limited run of these. These are Quebec and Gatineau, which, if you guys don't know, I'm in the Ottawa area, so these are local. So if you go over to the Quebec side, you'll see these sometimes, so those are pretty good. Along came 2012, something quite vital changed here, which is that you'll notice I started buying secondhand locos, because before that, minus my dad's trains, I did not buy any secondhand locos. So that changed, and it caused the amount of locos I bought to kind of boom. So, these were both from Merrickville. These were my first 2 used locomotives. This one didn't work. I cleaned its wheels, and it did work, and that got me into repairing trains. It was lucky that the wheels were the only problem, because I probably never would have gotten to restoring them if the problem had been too hard, because I would have been too afraid to take it apart at the time. So it just gave me the confidence to start disassembling these things and working on them. And then I got this one for my birthday that year. These 2 I got in my first lot. I was at an antique store, and there was this big box for $30, and it had all sorts of broken stuff in it, and I just bought it and restored it all, and I got this locomotive. Probably the cheapest one I own. It's very, it's not that good, but I like it a lot of good memories. I also had this dummy engine. This is also in pretty bad shape, but the rolling stock is what really mattered in that lot. I got this one summer of 2012. I don't know, I believe they were having a sale at the hobby shop on starter sets, and I bought this one and got some more easy track. That year, my grandparents were clearing out their house, and they were moving all sorts of stuff, so I just got the rest of my dad's collection. So I got his old Bachman steam locomotive, and this old, I believe it's a Lifelake steam locomotive. And then later that summer, at the same antique shop I bought these 2, I got this one. I think it's an AHM. This one still runs really, really well, considering how many years old it is. I got these ones at that same antique shop. These 2, I think they were selling for $30 each. I believe they were Bachman Spectrums. So those were a pretty nice buy. Later that year, I was at that antique shop again, and I found this one. It's an old Bachman. It's got that kind of ring motor design, but it still actually runs very smooth and quiet. It's the best ring motor I've actually heard. And then came along 2013. This is where things just went absolutely wild. So I got this one for my birthday that year. We had some friends. They'd got a huge lot of old model trains at a garage sale, and then they decided they didn't want any of it, so they just gave it all to me. So I got like 3 locos, a whole bunch of rolling stock, and some buildings and stuff. That was awesome. Then I got this one at Merrickville. I won a lot on eBay, and this was part of that lot. I'll show you the other things I got in that lot. And then that summer at Coins and Hobbies, I think it's in New Hampshire, I bought this set. It's these two Locos. They're both by Bachman. And I went to Los Angeles for the first time, and there was a huge hobby shop there, and they were selling a whole bunch of these, and they were all on sale for 30 bucks, like regular 70 or whatever it was, so that was an amazing deal. I really wanted a GG1, and I found one on eBay. This is an old Pemco, and I finally got that. It's not in very good shape, but I was quite happy with it. This was part of that lot I was talking about earlier that I got on eBay. Here, if I just move these two old Locos, kind of tricky to do. I'm just gonna leave this there because I don't want to break anything. This is a Bachman steam locomotive. It's very similar to this one. I actually won that one for $13 on eBay, so that was a pretty good buy. Later that year, I went to New York, and I got this. It's in New York Central, which was, you know, kind of fitting for the trip. This one I also bought at the shop, the same shop I bought this one at, the same year. This one was another part of that lot. This one was another Coins and Hobbies buy. This one has that, you know, the Bachman nylon gears that crack, so it has a clicking noise. And it was selling for 18 bucks, but the guy gave it to me for like 10 because it had that clicking noise, and he said it probably has a problem, so I have it for 10. That was quite nice of them. Let's see. I bought this one at a rail fair that year. The one below it, the one that has a cab in the center here, got that one at a rail fair. This one's really busted up. It was part of that lot I got on eBay. And then this one right here was part of that lot our friends gave us. I bought this from the antique shop. It's actually an identical Loco to this one, except it's a dummy. And then this was another Merrickville purchase. It was 10 bucks. It worked perfectly, and just seemed like a nice little switcher. And then 2014 came along. This is where something kind of changed, kind of for the worse. I started up a new school, and there was kind of a bit of judgment about how much I was actually spending on this stuff, even though the kids there, you know, spent hundreds of dollars on computers and whatnot. I should have just ignored them, but I didn't, and it actually kind of curbed how much of these I was buying. The collection probably would have continued up here, but instead I stopped. So after 2014, I really didn't buy a whole lot of stuff. I got this one at Coins and Hobbies because it was 2015, and Model Power had just gone defunct the year before. So these were all on sale, so I got this one for 21 American bucks. It's a great little engine. And then way back in like 2011, I got these Rapido cars, but I guess they hadn't come out with the Locomotive, or they did, and they were on like back order. So we put one on back order, and what do you know, like 4 some years later, it's here. So I got that one. And then 2016 came along. Now, as you know, because you know the channel was created in 2016, I was still doing model railroading stuff, but this is the only year since 2006 that I did not buy any engines. And then we see in 2017, the trend kind of picked back up. So I got this one. This is the one that said it had a motor. It didn't, and I turned it into a dummy. This is the Gandy Dancer. Probably saw that in one of my older videos. This is the one I got in Maine at Coins and Hobbies. This is another Maine purchase, and this was from that lot, that huge lot of engines and rolling stock. This one, I'm sure you remember from the lot video, the shell, I carved it up a little bit so that it would fit, so now I have this kind of strange locomotive. It's lifelike on the inside, by the way. This is that Revell one from the lot. So in Merrickville, I bought this old shell for $2, and in that lot, I got this chassis, and it went with some cheap shell. So I managed to kind of combine the two and make, you know, somewhat decent engine, Athearn body, and just a random shell. And then, of course, I also got this locomotive in that lot. And this one's is a dummy. It's by Lifelike or something. It's a little bit unusual. And then we move on to 2017, and you can see things have really picked up. Oh yeah, I also, because I got this one, of course, in 2017, and then I got this one in 2018, but they're permanently attached, so I kind of put them in the middle. So yeah, in 2018, where things started really picking up again. This is the one I got in that lot. This is quite nice. I had no clue what this was when I opened up the box. I actually thought it was an Athearn, which is a pretty dumb guess on my point. This is a hobby town. It had a lot of problems. These were slipping, but I managed to fix all those issues. And it's actually a really good runner now. I still do not have a clue what make this is. All I can say, it's really nice, and it's made in Australia. This is the Taiko Locomotive. A lot of people really seem to like this one, and I got some requests to basically clean and lubricate it. And I was taking it apart, and one of the pivots for the gears popped out. That one's been kind of broken ever since. I went to Florida back in February, and I went to H&R Trains. That's like apparently the largest shop in Florida. And I bought a lot of stuff. It was a bit of an unusual shop. It was huge, but it was just a bit strange, honestly. The people working there were quite nice, though. And they sold me this one for... No, they sold me two of them. They sold me this metal steam locomotive, and this one for $10, and then they threw in this one for free. So that was quite nice of them. But yeah, it was a bit of an unusual store. If you're in the area, though, you should go shop there, because, you know, big selection. This is another one from the lot. And as you know, these two are also from the lot. So, that's pretty much it for the collection. If there's any locos you would actually like to see me run, just comment it down and maybe I'll do a video. I might wait if, you know, if a few comments come in, I might add them up and then turn them into a compilation, so that way I'm not uploading like 10, 30-minute videos of a train running around. But yes, if you want to see any of these running, please comment them down below. I was just reviewing the footage. I can't believe I almost forgot these. Our friends across the pond may like this. These are a couple of vintage Trix Twin Railway locomotives. I think they're AC. You can see they're missing wheels and stuff like that, but these are vintage, made in England. This is the Scotsman. I have a few more of my grandmother's old locomotives. I might show them in a future video, but they're so kind of broken. I'm not even sure if you could call them engines, but maybe someday in the future they'll run again.